Welcome to another episode of Brenton's Fish. Let's talk tanks. Now this tank looks like a big old wad of guppy grass. You got a piece of wood in the middle. I have blue dreams in here. This is a second colony that I pulled off, and it was a random cull as opposed to culling for certain attributes. Not all of them were stellar examples of blue dreams when I put them in here. And then I just stopped culling altogether just to see what would happen. This is what we have a couple of years later. Seen a lot more mutations in this one. Yeah, we've got blue, but we also seem to have yellow or a green, sometimes black or black Riley. You can sell them as mutant blues. As far as this shrimp strain goes, this certainly is my island of misfit toys. If only the 12 original pilgrims can see this colony now. They do have a lifespan of 2 years, so maybe one of the founding fathers is sitting in this tank. I like to rotate the foods. They're getting the snow pops for this round. They can eat the tetra granules. A lot of time it's Bacteria AE and shrimp pellets. Those snow pops puff out like it's underwater fiberglass. Cotton candy? I'll go with candy. At this point, I don't want to mess with this population at all. Kind of just interesting to watch. I keep this as kind of my coal tank. One that doesn't accept imports, of course, just because I want to see where this lands. But it's just fun to roll the dice and watch. Shrimp are so strange. They sometimes move slow enough that you can almost speed up the camera, and they're moving almost in rhythm with the bladder snails and the ram's horn snails. On the other hand, if I go in there and try to catch one, it'll move like a crack of lightning. It can do a quick little spurt to dodge. It's just, I guess, wild that they are the size of your thumbnail, yet they reserve both speeds, tortoise and the hare. When you're selling out of these tanks, the colonies save a lot of time if they're very dense. When I start overselling these tanks, I get in a position where I have to pick them out one by one, and it starts taking a very long time. It's probably time to mark it as sold out anyways, because you want a large population to bring back another generation for you to keep going. The new tanks that I'm making right now, I'm going to try dirted bottoms, pretty thick substrates. I feel like this is a pretty good example. You can get any substrate, and with enough fish poop, you eventually have a dirt bottom. This is going to keep the bacteria in check, the cycle balanced, some plants fed. Maybe not as robust as putting potting soil beneath sand, but I noticed that with age, these get easier to take care of. We've got the key lime endlers in here. There's parts of them that kind of look like a black bar endler. You almost can't tell the difference. There's a little bit more green on the side. I guess that's the key lime and the key lime endlers. They also breed a little bit slower than black bars, or maybe they're eating their spawn more. I'm not sure, but that's been a delight. There's a small colony right now. I'm not really sure what's in the forest of guppy grass. This is a traditional guppy breeding tank in my mind, one in which you can kind of set it and forget it. We've got the 50% guppy grass and then 50% for the adults. Usually the juveniles just run in here and just never come out until they're ready for their first prom. For now, the two large females rule this tank with an iron fist. I'm sure once some of the children grow up, the dynamics may change. There are a lot of fry in here. I do see them poking out. It might not be a small colony. I'm just used to the Endler colonies coming out to the forefront, all sizes, all the fry. But the behavior might change tank to tank, strain to strain. Really, I compare everything to the black bar Endlers these days. Maybe they like my water, or maybe they're just an easy fish that are inbred a little less and just prolific breeders for everyone. I've got an Otto in here. He enjoys the algae wafer every day or every other day. Unless, of course, I have to film him, then he takes the day off. I got the air going so strong here to agitate the surface to get rid of duckweed. It's since then been dealt with. I would like to update my duckweed theory, and I'll do a separate video, but for now, I would recommend a surface skimmer for all your duckweed removing needs. I'm currently raising fish that I think may eat duckweed later, but for now, my recommendation is Eheim skimmer or some kind of skimmer, because the Eheim is $40 for some reason. If you go cheap, it's going to act cheap. However, I'm thinking a cheap one might be $6 to $8 off brand or Aquaneat, and then an expensive one would be $20. At $40, they've lost their mind. And if you go through the reviews on Amazon, you're gonna find that some of the Eheim skimmers are actually counterfeit. So you definitely wanna look at the motor and make sure you're not getting one done over on you. It's good to know that the fish industry is no exception to the Amazon counterfeit rigmarole. Skimming is a lot easier than agitating, and it probably takes 30 minutes of manual work to empty out the whole tank, accumulative, with some nitpicking net work and tweezer work for the final pieces of duckweed. I was looking through these fish tanks and I saw a little male swimming funny. My sixth sense was going off, my spidey fish sense. Usually I'll go in with these clean plastic cups. I'll bleach them in between contact with a sick fish. I'll just bleach them in between tanks. I can usually get a good swipe going where they think it's feeding time. I come in with the clear cup and just grab them. Once they start running, I have to bring out the net. But all right, we are gonna put this guy in the sick male tank. I've been pulling out males from other tanks that are on this hospital row with frayed tails. Something's wrong with them. You can tell from the ragamuffin tails. This tank is finishing up a copper round, but he'll be happy there. See, he's swimming a little funny there. Something's up with him, and I bought a lot of time with an Epsom salt bath, but I feel like it's back. So Paracleanse, that has metronidazole in it, and praziquantel. Might move on. There's a list of medicines I can go through, but these guys do look better weeks later on the dewormer. And so the tank he came from, they're going to get a food dewormer that can be fed right on top of the shrimp. Whatever I'll use, it'll be whatever works on him. You've got 4 different main dewormers in powder form and food form. So whatever works in powder form, I'll give to the big tank in food form. These guppies work well with food medicine. They tend to gobble up everything, especially when it sits at the bottom. Yeah, the crystal wart, I've had it go through copper, salt. It's a great little hospital tank plant. Just kind of survives everything. Everything except nitrofuransin green powder, which in the directions said it was safe for plants. It is not. The only thing it did not kill was pothos. It's been quite some time, and here we can see the fruits of our medicine labor. We can see our little L tiger. He's still alive, hanging with the boys. He still looks a little funny to me, so I'm not going to put him with the general population. But if we go back to that L tiger population, the last 6 months, they've exploded. There's fry everywhere. The colony's very dense. This really shows us that we've eliminated any issue. One little parasite in these guts, and you instantly start seeing the colony cold down on a long-term scale. I did find leeches in there. Ain't that special? This has been another episode of Brenton's Fish. Please stay tuned for future videos. I have a whole lot of footage, and it's just a matter of time before I figure out the workflow that's going to implement this the best. Until next time, fish keepers. Until next time.